Hey everyone, welcome again to Indian Story Read Along. Today's story is from Tinkle, and you can see my book is already falling apart. And this is one of the fortnightly issues. A fortnight is 2 weeks. So Tinkle used to put out these little books, like a magazine, every 2 weeks, and they were full of stories and facts about science and all that kind of stuff. This story is called Witty Vinay. King Chandrahasan wanted only the best groom for his daughter Chandrika. So the minister there, his advisor, is saying, Your Majesty, Prince Anand is the most handsome. So they're thinking about all these different princes in different lands and assessing them. And the king says, yes, but looks are not everything. And then the advisor says, well, what about Prince Ajay? He's surely the most wealthy. And the king says, no, my daughter will inherit my kingdom with all its riches. And then the minister says, well, what qualities should a suitor possess to please you, your majesty? And then the king says he should be witty and wise, clever and quick to find solutions. Witty kind of means like smart and funny at the same time. And he is absolutely right. If some kind of emergency happens, then someone has to be able to think on their feet and find a quick solution. After much thought and deliberation, the king chalked out a list of tests. And then the minister is looking at this list and he says, well, these are all really tough. And then the king says, king doesn't care. He goes, have it affixed on the gates of the palace. So it was that suitors desirous of wooing Chandrika saw the list at the gate. So they could figure out, kind of like posting the restaurant menu on the door. Before you even go in, you can figure out whether you want to do this or not. So here are the tests. They weren't even a bunch of qualities. They were just tests that the potential princes, the suitors, had to fulfill. Number 1, fell a bear with water. Number 2, hide from a pack of hounds in a forest. Number 3, boil water without fire. Number 4, trap light in a container. Anyone who attempts and fails must leave the kingdom. Attracted by her beauty and wealth, many young men came from far and near. And then the advisor in the corner there, he's saying, I hope we find an eligible man soon. It was then that Witty Vinay appeared on the scene. And then the guard says, who are you, stranger? And this guy's so confident. He goes, your future king. And here's the interesting thing. I don't even think he is a prince. Did you notice on the previous page, the king and the minister are assessing all of these princes, Prince Anand, Prince Ajay, and this guy is just, look at how he's dressed. He looks like a regular guy with a top piece of cloth around his chest and a vishti, and that's it. And so he's like, yeah, I'm your future king. And then the guard's like, yeah, you are the 156th man to attempt this ordeal. Give up before it's too late. And Vinay says, I love challenges. Vinay was soon in the fray. Fell a bear with water. He's going to get mauled like the rest of them. I bet. What do you think he's going to do? All the other guys, I bet, just tried to throw some water in the bear's face, probably making it angry, or maybe they decided to boil water and throw that in his face, making it super angry. But what he is going to do is different. Vinay was ready. He prepared beforehand. He has a club, someone says. He hit the bear. You've managed to stun the bear. But weapons are not allowed, says the king. And then Vinay says, what weapon? The club, made of ice, had already begun to melt into water. With one task under his belt, Vinay was ready to spend the night in the forest. The hounds will get him, someone says. And see, Chandrika is now watching, because I bet you no one got past the first, the bear. And it's interesting that they were listed in that order. You have to do it in that order. So whoever's not going to get past the bear, there's no point. But this is the guy who got past the bear. So now she's interested. And she's like, yeah, okay, what's he going to do next? Everyone says, Mr. Vinay will soon vanish. A pack of hungry hounds were let loose in the forest. Next morning, a search party was sent to look for Vinay's remains. And then he's like, yoo-hoo, here I am. Vinay, you are alive. The hounds are asleep. Did you drug them? No, I just made a figure of 8 around these 2 trees. All night long, the hounds went around and round after my scent and then fell asleep exhausted. That's brilliant. He didn't even have any tools or anything with him. No drugs, no food, no nothing for the hounds. It was a jubilant crowd that returned to the palace. And he's so confident. He's like, so what's next? And the guard says, boil water without fire. And then he says, that's easy. I'm ready for that. And then the guard says, you must have superpowers. And then he says, nope, just the supreme desire to be the heir apparent. With a flourish, Vinay added something to the water. Abracadabra, hubble, rubble, boil and bubble. And then someone says, sounds like witchcraft to me. The water began to bubble. It's magic. And Vinay says, no, he's thinking it's just chemistry. Just a lump or 2 of limestone added to water makes it bubble. Hee 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 hee. You know, the same thing would happen with like Eno's fruit salt. If you put that, it might bubble. By then it was dusk. Well, that leaves just one more test. Shall we leave it for tomorrow? Vinay's like, nope, not at all. I'm ready if you are. He wants to finish off this thing today. Vinay went to his room and returned soon to the darkening shadows of the night. So this is actually, it's good if he does this now, because the 4th one was trap light in a box. Fireflies, smart guy. So everyone can see this, right? If it was during the day, you really can't see the fireflies, and they don't come out at that time, but he got them at night. And then the king says he's captured light in a container. Vinay had won not just the contest, but also the hearts of the king and his courtiers, not to forget the beautiful Chandrika. Chandrika is in good hands, says the minister. And then the king says, yes. And here's the moral of the story. Wealth and riches can be given, but brains and wit are a gift of God. So that's why he wanted his daughter to marry someone who was smart. And actually good for the king that it doesn't even matter that the guy is a prince or not. He just got someone who he knows is going to rule the kingdom with her in an intelligent way. All right, so this was from Tinkle Fortnightly, and I think it was at least 20 years ago. This book is really, really old. If you like stories like this, then join us again next time on Indian Story Read Along.